Well guys, Rhythm Heaven Groove is officially coming out tomorrow, which means we now have all the reviews, which isn't too many major video reviews out at the time of recording this video. We have 3 that we're talking about today from IGN, Nintendo Life, and All Out Gaming on YouTube. So check out their full reviews if you want to hear every detail that they had to say, but pretty much I'm gathering a bunch of information from what I'm hearing online and from these reviews and putting them into one conclusive video so that way you can better understand what you're getting yourself into. And I'll admit, this is Rhythm Heaven, so there's not anything super crazy to really discuss here. It's just more Rhythm Heaven, which is great, especially if you're a Rhythm Heaven fan. Now let's start off by looking at the vast majority of reviews so far, and it seems like it's actually pretty consistent. Most reviews are sitting around an 8. Like, almost everyone is sitting around an 8. The highest with a 10 and the lowest being an 8, so far, not so bad. Currently on Metacritic, it's sitting at an 82, which is doing pretty good, and compared to the rest of the series, it's right in line. In fact, technically, it's the worst reviewed one so far, which is funny because every single one is sitting at an 83, with this one just 1 point lower at an 82, but pretty daggone consistent, which feels pretty good. But without further ado, let's dive into some of these reviews. The first one we have is from IGN, and they sung some pretty high praises for this game. They stated that the campaign in this game feels fresh across the board. There's so many fresh and unique mini-games across an 8-hour runtime, which to me sounds pretty long. Now, I've never really timed myself with the other Rhythm Heaven games, but 8 hours to play through the main campaign of 80 mini-games. Maybe I'm crazy, but that feels like a long time. Now, even still thinking about this, I think this time is a little bloated. I feel like maybe that is including, all the practicing before each mini-game and also, failures and stuff, or maybe replaying some of the games and trying to get gold medals or something. Because even going back and looking at past games, I think the longest I found was like an hour and a half for each one. And I've even found some recent Let's Plays of the entire game that's already up on YouTube for Groove, and the longest one I've seen was 4.5 hours. So 8 hours, yeah, it sounds crazy. I don't know, take with that what you will, but I don't trust that yet. IGN states that there's lots of fun little distractions in the mini games that will catch you off guard or block the screen. It's stuff that we've always experienced in Rhythm Heaven. The campaign is split into 8 stages with 4 games per stage and a remix for each of those stages, but that's only around 50. So I don't know if that's only including the original games, because I do know that there are harder versions of some of the mini games that you'll replay later on, just like the past games do. But yeah, I don't know, that only adds up to 50, including the remixes. The Rhythm Toy Box is back after getting medals for each game. You can unlock these toys, which is pretty cool. And some of the games have some cool little twists and micro stories to them. Like there's a game about a girl who's programming some video game of herself, so it's kind of a video game within a video game inception, and it's a cool little story about her getting bugs and stuff and glitches in her game, and you're actually playing through them. Now, Rhythm Heaven has done this before in the past with like the samurai games where there's like a little story technically behind them. They're not anything super deep or anything like that, but it's cool to see that they're bringing that back again and not just throwing mini games. At least some of them have a story to them. IGN also states how some of the games can get really difficult, even made her want to rage a couple of times, but in a good way, good difficulty. There's 10 co-op games in total with 3 levels of difficulty for each one, which this is exactly why Nintendo was saying that there's 30 mini games, not necessarily. There's 10 mini games with 3 difficulty levels. Nintendo loves throwing out numbers. But yeah, there's collaborative and competitive options for each of these games, or not each of them. Some of them are competitive, some of them are cooperative, but I've heard the competitive ones seem to be the most fun. There are also co-op medals, but they're rings this time, and these rings unlock new co-op toy box options. So you have a regular toy box and a co-op toy box that you can play with others, and the RPG side mode is bite-sized. It becomes tedious over time, and it feels underbaked, and this is something that you're going to see across the board. This seems to be a unanimous thing where everyone's like, yeah, this RPG mode kind of sucks, it seems like, and it's the only negative takeaway I've been seeing from IGN or from a lot of people across the board. But IGN says that it's a superb sequel with great music and excellent animation with some unique yet challenging games, and gives the game a 9 out of 10. Now let's move over to Nintendo Life, where they start the review saying some games feature multiple variants and harder ones like the past games did. I've already kind of mentioned that. Lots of songs will get caught in your ear as an earworm. Some games, though, won't connect with you right away. There's 2 that definitely didn't for them, which was 2 robot-based games, strange enough, or kind of robot games. There's one where you have to smash cans in some factory, and one where your robot's like holding food and stuff. And they said it was just strange, and they couldn't figure out what was going on until they noticed that it feels like there's some audio lag in this game. And they bring it up a lot as a major negative. And honestly, yeah, I kind of felt the same in the demo with some of the games, at least the dinosaur game for sure. There seems to be a lot of input lag on the TV, and the same thing that Nintendo Life says, no matter how many times they try to recalibrate, some of the games still felt like it had input lag, and I agree. I recalibrated multiple times through the in-game calibration. I've even tried some outsourced calibration with my TV, and still I noticed some slight input lag, and when I played a lot of these games in handheld, I literally never made a mistake. In fact, Nintendo Life even stated that the game literally tells you that handheld mode is better for certain games, like Beat Spell, which is that RPG that no one likes, so at least there's that. They never wanted to play the game docked again, apparently, after trying it in handheld, and said it just works too smoothly in handheld and the TV's too unreliable. But they claim that the co-op game variety is excellent, some really unique games are here. Beat Spell is very much a side mode once again, feels like one of those 3DS Street Pass games, I'm guessing kind of like Miitopia, I believe that's what it was called. They claim after going through all the levels and bosses in that side mode, they didn't really want to go back, but there are stars and ways to, I guess, 100% and collect everything in that mode, but the music isn't even at the forefront here apparently, it just feels flat and like an afterthought mode. There are drum lessons returning, which is a past little toy mini-game thing that you could do. There was a guitar one in the past game as well. I think that was the DS version. But yeah, you need really good calibration to play that on the TV, they say. So overall, Nintendo Life says, TV play in Beat Spell bogs the game down a bit, but definitely worth the price for the good amount of content and awesome music and mini-games that are here at display. And they gave the game an 8 out of 10. And finally, we have a review from All Out Gaming. There's a couple things that stuck out to me from this review, including this new mini game that's literally just throwing words on the screen and popping up like JPEG pictures of real people. I thought that was extremely strange and a little jarring. Like every time I saw that game pop up, I thought I was seeing like an edit from the actual YouTubers or something. Like they threw that in the video review. It's so weird. It doesn't even really give me a Rhythm Heaven vibe. It's strange, but I don't know. I guess we'll see how that plays out when the final game drops. All Out Gaming says there's nothing crazy here that's game-changing, but it's just more Rhythm Heaven greatness, which is all I think a lot of Rhythm Heaven fans wanted. Beat Spell doesn't quite come together once again. A good distraction, but just a cool, unique concept that's a quick and undercooked side mode. Decent mix of co-op mini-games and surprisingly addictive games. Wish there was more, but what's here is really great, they claim, and doesn't stray too much from the other games, but it's a great follow-up, and like I said before, it doesn't need to be anything super different. It's Rhythm Heaven. Give me some great music and some fun mini-games. That's all I ever wanted. But overall, they say solo or with friends, it's a blast, but that RPG mode, that dang RPG mode, really isn't great, and they gave the game a 4 out of 5. But now for my thoughts. The DJs are back from DJ school. Scratcho? Okay, I'm done. Sorry. Something else I have no clue of, well, at least it has not been mentioned in any other review so far, is are perfects returning? I know they kind of got rid of them in Mega Mix and replaced them with like a timed star that would randomly appear in the minigame. So yeah, are they done with perfects? I mean, it's great for people that rage, like me. I mean, there's a couple games back on the DS that really used to get me. I'm looking at you, Tabletop Tennis. But yeah, regardless, that's strange. I wonder if it is returning or not, or maybe it's just replaced with getting great medals now. No, obviously I've not played the game yet, but from what I've seen, like, I don't care too much about these reviews out of most reviews. Like, honestly, I do take some of these in consideration, but for Rhythm Heaven, you give me a new Rhythm Heaven game with a bunch of mini games and I'm set. I mean, the only thing I was particularly looking forward to was like to hear how these mini games and the music compares to other games, and I didn't really get a lot of that in the reviews so far. It feels like a lot of these people aren't as crazy for the game as, you know, I am. I love Rhythm Heaven to death. I can literally play back to you every single song from every game. They're all just embedded. So yeah, I would have loved like a little comparison to see like how they compare to others. I'll be able to give that to you guys because I played the other games nonstop until my hands cramped. Like all perfects, everything. So yeah, not to brag. I'm bragging a little bit, but yeah. I love Rhythm Heaven. So yeah, just another game with a bunch of fun mini games. I am so ready. And from the demo, I've already got like 3 of the songs stuck in my head. And there was only like 4 in the demo. It's freaking insane. So yeah, I am very much looking forward to this game, but let me know in the comments down below, how do you feel? I think the only thing I'm a little worried about is that input lag, because I've already experienced some of it in the demo already. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Rhythm Heaven and Nintendo in general. And like always, I hope you have a blessed rest of your day. See you guys.